Namaskar. Greetings to everyone in this hall. What I see before me is young, impressionable minds in full readiness. Congratulations to all of you. Shri Sanjeev Agarwal, President, PhD CCI. Just imagine, he has two vice presidents by his side. Shri Hemant Jain, Senior Vice President, PhD CCI, he reflected that why don't the government of India follows the pattern of PhD CCI, where Vice President automatically becomes Vice President. Hemantji, soothing thought, but government of India does not appoint Vice President. He is elected. And for an elected post, there is a constitutional mechanism. Bharat, home to 1/6 of humanity, is mother of democracy, oldest democracy, vibrant democracy, functional democracy. And we are lucky to have, by the democratic process, Srimati Draupadi Murmu as the first citizen of the country, a Vice President. Shri Rajiv Juneja, another Vice President, PhD CCI. Friends, it gives me immense pleasure to be at Bharat Startup and MSME Summit in New Delhi. I can tell you, Bharat Startup and SME Summit at 2024 will pave the way for a Viksit Bharat at 2047. I have no doubt about it. Our economy is in positive transformation. There is no doubt about it. It is a sea change, a soothing change, a feel-good factor. MSME and startups have made massive contributions, and the result is we are already the 5th largest global economy, on way to becoming the 3rd largest in next 2-3 years. In recent years, India has emerged as a global hub for innovation and entrepreneurship with a thriving startup ecosystem and numerous success stories. Time for trade and industry and bodies to fully leverage the entrepreneurial culture that is taking root in hinterlands of the country through the vibrant MSME sector. It is a sector that is underrated when it comes to performance. Its performance is much beyond the perception it has in urban locales. It is highly impactful. It is impacting transformational change in Tier 2, Tier 3 cities and villages. Hand-holding these entrepreneurs will help them optimize performance, apart from being a confidence-building measure. I am happy to note that this is already in one of your sessions. The deliberations are bound to be very productive. This is known as small sector. I do not know why, because it has a big role. A small sector, reckoned as small sector, has a big role in our economy. MSMEs account for about 30% of India's GDP, 45% of manufacturing output, and provide employment to over 11 crore individuals. More importantly, it is an area that produces finest minds that contribute to the growth of economy. Affirmative governance, coupled with ease of business policies and initiatives, have helped in flourishing of entrepreneurship and spirit of innovation. A new norm in last 1 decade, a soothing norm that is changing landscape of this great nation. Schemes like Startup India and Stand Up India have been game changers, providing startups with access to funding, mentorship, and networking opportunities. These are not words, these are ground realities. You can have access to fiscal resources and mentorship in enormous ways. Startup landscape in India has undergone a remarkable transformation. Sometimes we have to take aid of statistics because figures are important. From just over 350 startups in 2014, in 3-digit, 354, we now have more than 1.3 lakh startups with number of unicorns surpassing 100. Just imagine, after having overtaken journey in most difficult terrain, we have traversed to these phenomenal results. This growth is a testament to the entrepreneurship and spirit of innovation that lies in our human resource. Government has been in affirmative mode, that has been facilitating. The recognized startups have played a pivotal role in generating over about 13 lakh jobs directly, fostering employment opportunities for our youth and contributing significantly to the overall economic growth. This isn't just about creating employment, it's about empowering people, transforming their lives. I can share with you joy of an entrepreneur when he succeeds, sends vibes to several people, generates hope in others. It is motivational, it is inspirational, it is positively contagious. Today, India is home to some of the most innovative startups in the world, disrupting traditional industries and setting up new benchmarks of excellence. From fintech to health tech, agri-tech to clean energy, our startups are not just creating wealth but also generating employment, driving socio-economic development, and most importantly, addressing some of the most pressing challenges facing our nation and the world. Every day in our life we come across, when we look at technological situations, that this can be done. This is our need. The large industry is not equipped to do it. Startups can do it. They are doing it significantly, making our life easier, facilitating our governance and ease of business as well. One of the most important aspects of the growth of the wide expertise of these startups is that a common man can now think big, realize big, make impact, and be an icon. They are not confined to urban centers, which is good. They prosper in less polluted areas, if I talk in terms of environment. They have reached most of the districts, making a tangible difference in the lives of people across the length and breadth of our nation. A pyramidal rise is not suited to a democratic nation. We have to have a plateau type of a rise so that every segment of society rises. We need verticals for sure, but horizontals are important. Startups and micro and small enterprises play this great role. This is a significant stride towards gender inclusivity and empowerment in the entrepreneurial space. Gender equality cannot be delayed any longer. Parliament has taken a great initiative. September last, we had the historic legislation providing for 1/3 reservation for women in Lok Sabha and state legislatures. This is not a political reservation. It is much beyond political reservation. This reservation will give input in policy making of that gender, which is half of humanity. They will frame policies. Imagine for a moment, if 50% here were women, what will be the ecosystem? It will be different, more positive. Similarly, if our legislatures will have 1/3, and we are the only country to have gone to that level. It is heartening to witness the rise of women leaders who are making substantial contributions to the startup landscape, just as they are leaving indelible footprint in every walk of nation life. Even at a global level, you will find our women have performed excellently, not in ordinary things, in highly technical matters, be it IMF or otherwise. Already women are massively contributing to national growth and shaping the future of our nation. Let me reflect for a moment. You witnessed the spectacular parade on Republic Day, 75th this year. And what did we see? Our woman power, our girl power in full bloom, right from defense to technology to ISRO, to every walk of life. They outnumbered the men significantly, impactfully, and non-invisibly. We saw it. To further empower and encourage women entrepreneurs, the government launched the Women Entrepreneurship Platform as a part of Startup India. This is very significant. We have to empower women, and the empowering women, the fundamental is they must be financially independent. And you can't be financially independent by getting money from someone else. You have to earn it. They have capacity to earn money. They have capacity to earn money perhaps more than men. But they are engaged in building families also. They contribute to the home ecosystem also. When they will get opportunities, things will be geometric when it comes to progress. This program, WEP, has emerged as a catalyst of change, providing robust support system to women entrepreneurs. Friends, as we stand at the cusp of even greater achievements, it is imperative that we continue to nurture and support our startups. You are one of the subjects during your deliberations. Economic nationalism, I wish to focus on it and appeal to you. Economic nationalism is quintessentially fundamental to our economic growth. Mark my words carefully. Nationalism is important, paramount. We have to subscribe to it. Time for us to subscribe to economic nationalism as well. We need to be vocal for local. It is a facet of Atmanirbhar Bharat. It reflects the essence of Swadeshi Andolan of our freedom struggle. We need to import only what is unavoidably essential. I reiterate, we need to import only that item which is unavoidably essential. We need to be alive, friends, to the ill effects of not subscribing to economic nationalism. Apart from avoidable drain of foreign exchange, and this drain is astronomical. So one evil effect is there is drain of foreign exchange. The other is it cuts into our employment opportunities. Imagine we import an item which can be made here. What are we doing? We are depriving hands in our country of work and giving work to hands outside. And third, it impedes growth of entrepreneurship. I'm sure nobody will disagree that we need to be extremely cognizant of the deeper impact of economic nationalism. I call upon trade and business associations, establish chambers of commerce and industry such as PSD, CCI, FICCI, CII, ASSOCHAM, and the like, to be nerve centers of inculcating a spirit of economic nationalism. Friends, a fiscal benefit, irrespective of the quantum, can never be the premise to compromise national interest or economic nationalism. Another aspect, friends, that needs the attention of trade and industry is export of raw material. We export raw material when there is potential of value addition in our country. If we were to add value to the raw material, some people will get jobs, some will be entrepreneurs. We sacrifice these twin advantages that can constitute to spinal strength of our economy and export raw material because it is easy to make money by export of raw material. That money is easy for the individual. That money is very painful for the nation. There are countries that have devised a mechanism. They will not export their raw material. They will add value. And even for adding value, just don't add minor value. Add a real value to it, and then you will be contributing to national economy. Export of raw material is to be discouraged. And this discouragement cannot emanate from a legal regime. This has to emanate from sensitization by trade, industry, commerce organizations, associations, chambers like yours. Because those engaged in this activity are associated with you. You know them, you can identify them, you can sensitize them, you can awaken them, you can enlighten them. And I am sure our national fervor and spirit will make them understand immediately, and they will take to it. World over, trade and industry fuels and sustains research and development. I am very serious about it. Go to any part of the world, particularly the developed nations. Research and development is fueled, financed, promoted, sustained by industry. We like it here. Let us take the big step in that direction. Let the corporate leadership also engage in that attention. I have indicated from another platform in an academic institution that while it is good to give heavy financial assistance to universities outside, but also bestow attention on local universities. It may be gratifying for the company or corporate that they have made an allocation, let's say, of $50 million to a foreign university. It's a fact. It was done about 10 years back. Focus on our universities also, our academic institutions also. So that is required by the industry. Make research and development your priority. I can tell you because your president had made a reflection. He talked of disruptive technologies. He talked of blockchain, machine learning, Internet of Things. Now these are areas in which government of India has taken the lead. We have a quantum computing mission. 6,000 crores have been allocated. Boys and girls will be delighted. You can find areas and opportunities there. We have green hydrogen mission. 19,000 crores have been allocated. Enormous potential. We'll get about 8 lakh crore jobs and equal 8 lakh crore investment also. When these are the areas, it is the industry, trade, commerce, associations that have to catalyze human resource, their involvement, their interest by holding workshops, by having think tanks. And if there are some issues with the governance, the government is extremely receptive to address them. But these changes can't take backseat. Gone are the days when our country will look to Western world for technological input. We will have to be in the queue as we used to be earlier. Now we are in the front line. India is amongst countries in single digit to focus on green hydrogen and quantum computing. Even 6G, our development is very fast. The commercialization of it will take place from 2025 to 2030. I am making reference to this because our boys and girls need to know that you have enormous opportunities. You have opportunities where you can think out of the box. You can enterprise, and you will get into new areas. And you will define India's growth history when you join the marathon to 2047 and make India a great nation. Friends, certain things have happened which must be soothing to young minds. What do you look for? You want respect for merit? You hate corruption? You want equality before law? You don't want patronage? And what do we have now? Corruption is no longer rewarding in this country now. Corruption neither gets you recruitment, a job, nor a contract. Corruption is the safest passage these days to jail. Safest, surest. Another thing which young minds must have noticed, people of my age have suffered. You are not suffering. You will have to learn. This has happened. There was a time when power corridors were infested with corrupt elements, license elements, middlemen. Even a tender document was a prized document. It could not be available to everyone. Industry and corporate had to work in overdrive to reach out a human resource who could extra legally leverage decision makers and get this document. Then secure a judgment in their favor, sacrificing merit, giving it a full patronage shape. Now, boys and girls, power corridors have been sanitized of corrupt elements. They are not there. And the good thing is, they have not made exit. They have made exit forever. They can never come back. While we have transparent and accountable mechanism in governance, industry, trade and commerce has to play a great role. If you will have zero accommodation in your establishments, that will contribute cumulatively to the growth of this nation and a good system of governance. Another thing which you have seen day in and day out, there was a time people thought they were above law. Law cannot reach them. They have immunity from law. The long arm of law is beyond us. Every day the law is knocking on their doors, which means they are receiving the heat of law as never before, and that is equality before law. Equality before law means all are equal when it comes to lawful enforcement, and therefore this is important. Democracy cannot survive with it. This today is a ground reality which is most suited to young minds like you who have future ahead of you. Friends, may this summit inspire new ideas, which it will. Partnerships, there will be generated. Collaborations will take place. But cumulative impact will be that you will be putting marathon march to 2047, Bharat 2047, on a robust passage, and we will be a developed nation by then. Friends, let us in togetherness work for the success of our marathon march to Bharat 2047, and I have no doubt, I am full of hope, optimism and confidence. I may not be around, many may not be around who are senior people here, but you all will be around. You are the most impactful stakeholders in governance. It is your responsibility to take Bharat at 2047, when it celebrates centenary of independence, as a developed nation, as a global leader. You have a person in command in Delhi at this time who takes note of your aspirations, dreams, and is defining your role, facilitating your performance, making available opportunities to you which you never imagined and people of my age never dreamt of. I wish you great success in your life. I am grateful to the PhD CCI Chamber for affording me this valuable opportunity to interact with young minds of this country who are the most impactful, constructive stakeholders in governance. Thank you so much.